No jumping with popcorn, I say. It isn't a common phrase for most, but I have a 15-year-old with autism very excited to have popcorn and very excited to be at the movies. Griffin is big, all giant man paws and Fred Flintstone feet. He is clutching his extra-large tub of popcorn to his chest and jumping up and down, causing a shower of kernels to fall onto the head of his older brother Dylan, who is sitting in a wheelchair and who has just reached out one hand to grab the skirt of a lady passing by. Dylan grabs. He's a grabber. I have started to sweat. We're at the movies because the theater is sponsoring a special showing for kids with autism. The theater won't be fully dark, the sound won't be as loud as usual, and we parents won't get nasty looks or comments when our kids scream or grab. I have taken on this mission without my husband and with Dylan and Griffin, along with my 3-year-old son, my mother, and my 5-year-old niece. I want to prove we can go out and do things, but I am outnumbered and outgunned as I try to steer Dylan and Griffin through the lobby. No jumping with popcorn, I say to Griffin as I try to pry Dylan's left hand off his mostly patient victim's skirt that covers her butt. Yeah, oh, this is awesome. I finally succeed and we make it maybe 3 more paces before he does it again, but worse. This time he's grabbed the hair of a little girl who is now screaming. I am forcing Dylan to release his latest prey from the claw of doom, and Griffin, unhappy with having stopped again, has added a high-pitched ee to the popcorn-enhanced jumping. And I forge ahead to the part that really scares me. How am I going to get Dylan into a seat? See, we can't sit in the big middle part where people with wheelchairs usually sit because Griffin can't handle those wide open spaces and he'll bolt. But that means I have to lift Dylan's 73 pounds out of the wheelchair, over an armrest, and onto a movie theater seat. I am now in a full-on flop sweat. I herd my mom and the littles into the row in front of us so that when Griffin enthusiastically begins to kick the seat in front of him, it'll be contained to just our family. I am managing, and I am hoping some urban legend, car-lifting mama miracle will help me as I lift my son up and over the armrest of the seat, and it does. Phew. I'm exhausted just from getting us seated, and I am trying very hard not to cry as I settle myself between the boys. They're showing an animated short before the movie called Partly Cloudy. Have you seen this? It's about happy, fluffy clouds making adorable babies for the storks to deliver, and they're super cute, little boys and girls and puppies and tiny monkeys and so on. And then one cloud, it's a stormy cloud, and it makes difficult babies like crocodiles and porcupines. The delivery stork hangs in through bites and bruises, but when he realizes that next up is a baby shark, he flees, and the little maker cloud bursts into a thunderstorm of tears and rage. And I unleash a snot-slinging, ugly cry, having just delivered my own prickly and difficult babies to this movie, struggling to feel acceptable even at the special autism show. Last October, Griffin was all excited about Halloween because 15 for him isn't the same as for another teenager. He was so happy to put on his Cat in the Hat costume for trick-or-treating, and we took the cutest pictures. And then at the very first house, a woman with a bowl of old lady peppermint said, "Why is he here? He's too old for this." And I'm trying to explain, and Griffin is confused, politely saying, "Pick a pea, trick or treat," because he knows how it works. You ask, and they give you candy, and she doesn't want to give it to him. And we leave. And I am filled with my own thunderstorm of rage and sorrow, my arm around my son, trying to distract him, hoping the next house is okay. On screen, the sweet little stork comes back to his storm cloud, this time wearing a football helmet and pads. And you know what? We have so many unflagging, awesome, indefatigable, helmet-clad, pad-wearing people in our lives, and I am so grateful for every one of them. In the theater, I hunch down in the seat, pull a pocket pack of tissues from my mom purse, and wipe my snotty face. As Partly Cloudy is winding down, my lap has accumulated enough soggy, wadded-up tissues to construct my own fluffy baby-making cloud, or maybe even a Bichon Frise. In the row ahead, my youngest son, still a baby really, is talking to my mom and his cousin, narrating everything he sees. And then the bird fly back to that cloud. Griffin is flapping and vocalizing and cramming popcorn in his mouth, and Dylan is laughing, wide-mouthed and delighted, as the cloud hands the next baby to the good-natured, football gear-wearing stork. It's an electric eel.